Hello everyone. This is my second presentation on this chapter of organic chemistry for class 11th. In this presentation, I am going to discuss about the compounds having functional group, how to write their IUPAC names. But before we start this, let me have a quick recap of how to write the IUPAC nomenclature for hydrocarbons. So in the previous presentation, I had discussed about alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. The general formula of alkanes is CnH2n plus 2, all single bonds. For alkenes, CnH2n, and for alkynes, it is CnH2n minus 2. If I take a few examples for alkanes, then the rule says that first of all, you have to search for the longest carbon chain in the molecule and then see that from which side the substituent is coming closer. So the longest carbon chain I can see is having 5 carbons here, and then alkane having 5 carbons is called pentane, and on the second carbon you can see the methyl substituent is there. So the name becomes, we write the substituent first, 2 dash hyphens, commas, very important, 2 methyl pentane. It has to be a single word if there are no other substituents coming in. Same way, if I take another example, CH3CH, C2H5, CH2, CH2, CH, CH3, CH3. Now if I write the name, then some students may feel that this is the longest chain, and when they write the name they will take this and this as the substituent. Now this is a very common mistake. You need to be very careful that if from any side ethyl is coming on the second carbon, then this is the longest carbon chain. The longest carbon chain is now this one. Because if I go from here to here, the carbon chain is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons. And if I include this way, then one more carbon, 7 carbons. So I am taking this one. The longest carbon chain we must take. And we write the name. Now it is simple. So if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6, 7 carbons. Let us write it again. 7 carbons, and there are 2 methyls on the second and fifth carbon. So 1, I'll write it again here. CH3, here it was C2H5, CH, CH2, 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 and then one more CH3 as a substituent and CH3. So the longest carbon chain is this. I'll number from here. Here I have increased 1 carbon from the previous one, as I can see. So it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I take this one, it becomes 7 carbons. But if I come this way, there are 8 carbons. So I am taking this one. And on the second carbon, the concept is same as the previous one. Only 1 carbon is extra here. So second carbon, and this is the 6th carbon. They have methyl substituents on them. So I will write 2, 6, hyphen, and it will be dimethyl. There are 2 methyls. So I have to write the numbers 2, 6. On them the substituent is there, and the compound, the parent compound has 8 carbons, so it becomes 2,6 dimethyl octane. octa is 8. This is how we write the name. After this, I'm going to take a few more examples, simple ones, for alkenes and alkynes also. So let us take it for alkene. In case of alkene, if you have ethene, there is no other option. This is the only structure. If you have propene, then this is the only possibility that it will be the double bond is going to be between first and second carbon from any side. But when I have more carbons, then the possibilities increase. 4 carbons can be having a double bond between second and third carbon, or there is another isomer possible that I can have it here. Two possibilities. Now here I need to be careful when I write the name. This is ethene. No need to write any number here. This is propene, because there is only one possibility of placing the double bond. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 double bond between second and third carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4 between first and second carbon. So this becomes but 2-ene, and this isomer is called but-1-ene. So you just have to see from which side the double bond is coming closer, and accordingly you write the name using the simple rules. Then you have an example. Suppose I am taking 2 double bonds in the same compound. How do we name such compounds? It's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. From any side, the double bond will be between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 only. So you can number from any side. And then there are 4 carbons. So we generally write but. Okay. But we should write. I'll make some change here later after telling you the rule. So we are supposed to write but, and then we see it is having 2 double bonds, and the double bonds are between first, second and third and fourth carbon. So we write the number from where the double bond is starting. But 1, 3, and then it should be diene. But one more thing very important here, it will be buta, and then hyphen will come. This A you don't have to drop here because a di has come. So when the prefix di, tri, something else comes, the A, this ene, E of ene is not coming immediately after T of but. Then A needs not to be dropped. This is a rule. So buta-1,3-diene is the name, not but-1,3-diene. Then let's write one more here. CH3, CH with a substituent, CH double bond CH, CH2, CH3. So we have to see the longest carbon chain, which includes double bond. So you go anyhow this way, or you go straight. They have same length and they are involving the double bonded carbons also. And I will number from the side from where the substituent is coming closer. So easy now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So should I give more importance to double bond or the substituent? In this case, if you come from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, both ways the double bond is coming between third and fourth carbon only. So I will come from that side from where methyl bearing carbon also gets lower possible number. So I will come from this side. And the name is 2-methyl. From this side I am going. And there are 6 carbons. So it is hex 3-ene. Here I will not write hexaene, because either it is alkane or alkyne. In this case it was diene, so we did not drop A of buta. keep these simple things in mind, and the IUPAC nomenclature is not tough at all. Then you have alkyne, and after this I am starting with the functional group. For alkyne, it is CnH2n minus 2. There is a triple bond, so you start with at least 2 carbons. Ethyne, propyne. In butene, again you have two options. Triple bond can be between first and second carbon, or that can be between second and third carbon. Accordingly, you write. This is simple. Ith for the 2 carbons, and then ine, propyne. Then you have but 1 ine, and this is isomer of the upper one, but 2 ine. And other examples, you will consider exactly same rules as we have done for the double bond alkene. Now let us start with the functional groups. Now first of all, what are functional groups? You must have read about halides, must have heard about them. Alcohols, phenols, ketones, nitriles, which is cyanide, ethers, carboxylic acid. So all are functional groups. If I have any hydrocarbon and I replace one or more of the hydrogens by groups like halide, maybe chloride I am taking. I am taking OH. I am taking CHO, or I am taking CH3COH. So by replacing one hydrogen by different groups or maybe an atom, I have created a new compound. There are chemical reactions required to do so. But the compound is new. The replacement has taken place, and that is giving rise to the new compound. So these new atoms or the group, here you have a group of oxygen and hydrogen, here you have a group of CHO, a group of carbon and 2 oxygens and 1 hydrogen. These are called functional groups. Functional groups are atoms or group of atoms which completely change the properties of that compound from where the compound has been derived. Like if I start from methane, and from there by a chemical reaction I make CH3Cl or CH3OH, then the compound which is created, that has totally new set of properties. So they are functional groups. So how to use this table is very important. This is from NCERT, and in this table you will find that different functional groups, the symbols, and very important, the prefix and suffix are given for different groups, functional groups. I'll tell you when we talk about compounds having more than one functional group, that where the prefix is required. Right now we are going to concentrate on this suffix only. For alcohol we make use of all, for aldehyde Al, for ketone ONE, like that. So I am taking examples one by one to explain that how functional group containing compounds are named. So the first in this category is they are called alkyl halides or haloalkanes, we call them. So alkyl halides are the compounds like CH3Cl. They have alkyl group and they have halogen, maybe one, maybe more. Common names, just by reading methyl chloride you can make out it is CH3Cl. But IUPAC name, what is the rule? The rule says that you have to write it like haloalkane, not the alkyl halide. Alkyl halide is used in common naming. For writing the name chloromethane, writing the IUPAC name, it is to be called chloromethane. Halo, that halogen, Cl, and then alkane CH3Cl. For CH3CH2Br, this is ethane, ethyl. So ethyl bromide is the common name, and very simple to write the IUPAC name. The halogen is bromo. So haloalkane, bromoethane, 2 carbons. This is the IUPAC name. Here you have This is iodopropane. But why 1 here? Because again there are two possibilities where I can place I. In this case, CH3, CH2, Br, I can either put this Br on this carbon or this carbon. So wherever I put, it remains one bromoethane, and that you don't need to write because there is no possibility of two bromoethane. Wherever you are putting it, you will start numbering from that side. But in case of propane, when I have 3 carbons, I can put iodine here, or I can put iodine here. If I put it here, it is again 1 iodo. You start numbering from the other side. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3 this way, or 1, 2, 3 this way. Anyhow. So this becomes 1 iodo, because we write hello. 1 iodo propane. Single word. This is 2 iodo propane. A few more examples here. These are called polyhalo compounds. If they have more than one halogen, maybe same, maybe different, they come in the category of polyhalo, and this is specifically dihalo. Di means two. So the naming is simple. I'll choose the longest carbon chain first. I can see 3 carbons. So the parent alkane is propane. And on the first and third carbon, you have bromo. So it becomes 1,3-dibromopropane. Here you have bromo on the first and second, again a propane, 1,2-dibromopropane. Here you have it on the same carbon, so it is 1,1-dibromopropane. Simple. This is how you write the name. IUPAC nomenclature of alcohols. Alcohols, ROH is the general formula, and they are called alkane. E is to be dropped and it is replaced by ol, alkanol. For example, if I have CH3OH, I call it alkane is methane. There is one carbon. Drop the E, put OL suffix, it becomes methanol. CH3CH2OH, ethanol. CH3CHOH, CH3, or CH3CH2CH2OH. Both are propanols, isomers. Propane, 2-ol. See, I have dropped E. Propane, 1-ol. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Simple. So methanol, ethanol, propane, 1-ol. Butane, same way, 1-ol, butane, 2-ol. Is butane 3-ol possible? If I write carbon, 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 butane, I put OH here. Here OH is on this carbon, I am putting on this carbon. Is it butane 3-ol? No. Then I will start numbering from this side, because from here the carbon having OH is coming closer. So only two possibilities, butane 1-ol and butane 2-ol. Next, the naming of aldehydes. How do we name aldehydes? Aldehydes have the general formula RC double bond OH, RCHO also we write. So you just have to see in the formula how many carbons are involved. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the interesting thing is that this functional group has carbon in it. So that carbon you have to include in the counting and in the naming. So one carbon, IUPAC name. Here, how do we write the name? We write for aldehydes, alkane, E is to be dropped and replaced by al, alkanal. So if it is one carbon, methanol. If there are 2 carbons, ethanol. If there are 3 carbons, C2H5 and CHO, propanol, like that. And CHO, please notice that this functional group is always terminal. It can never be in the middle of the chain because on one side hydrogen is fixed. So this is methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol. You don't need to write propane 1-ul, butane 1-ul because this is always terminal. And notice the IUPAC, along with IUPAC, the common names. Formaldehyde is the name used for methanol, very commonly used in framing questions. Acetaldehyde for ethanol. These are slightly different. Propinaldehyde and butyraldehyde, the common names. So keep them in mind. Sometimes you find them in the questions. The next functional group is ketone. In the ketonic functional group, you have the C double bond O in the middle of 2 carbons. So the simplest is with 3 carbons, only then I can put CO in the middle. So using exactly same number of carbons, hydrogens and oxygens, I can make one more formula. CH3, CH2, CHO. See carefully. 3 carbons, 3 carbons, 1 oxygen, 1 oxygen. How many hydrogens? 3 and 3, 6. 3, 2, 1, 6. So hydrogens are 6. These are isomers. What is the difference? They both are called carbonyl compounds. Why carbonyl? Because this is C double bond O is carbonyl. Now the difference is that here you have the CO in the middle of the chain and here you have this terminal. So the terminal one is aldehyde and where it is coming in the middle is ketone. Now see how we write the name. We write alkane, drop E and put ONE, alkanone. So for 3 carbons it is propanone. 4 carbons, butanone. Only one possibility because I can put CO here or CO here. It becomes butanone, butane 2 on only. So I don't need to specify that 2 here. But when I increase the number of carbons now, the possibilities are increasing. I have CO here and I have CO here. Second carbon, third carbon. So it becomes pentane 2 on, it becomes pentane 3 on. And suppose you have an example where you have CH3, C double bond O, CH2, C double bond O, CH3. Ketonic group is coming twice. So number it from where they are getting the lowest possible number where CO is placed. From both the sides it's going to be 2, 4 only. And the total number of carbons are 5 in the longest carbon chain. The only possibility. So it is pentane. We generally drop E, right? 2, 4, dione. Because ketone is coming twice. Pentane dione. In this case, because D is coming here, di, tri, anything like that comes, then this E will remain here. Pentane dione. Then the next is IUPAC naming of carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acids are having general formula RCOOH, carboxylic acid. And they are called alkane, drop the E, alkanoic acid. Alkanoic acid. So alkanoic acid, in this functional group also there is carbon. So I can have HCOOH, CH3, CH2, COOH, and the names will be 1 carbon only here. Methanoic acid, methane, 1 carbon. Methane and then oic acid. Ethanoic acid. Propanoic acid. No need to write 1 propane, 1 oic acid because this is always terminal functional group. A functional group with high priority. So methanoic, ethanoic, propanoic, butanoic, pentanoic, hexanoic, depending upon the number of carbons. This is how you write the name. Simple. Now esters. Esters are having the general formula RCOOR. And if you remember esterification reaction, how do we make it? We get ester when a carboxylic acid reacts with an alcohol. I am writing R dash to distinguish in the presence of acid. Esterification reaction. So this RCO will come from the acid part, and this R dash will come from the alcoholic part, which is getting attached here after this oxygen. So they are named as alkyl. This is alkyl, and this part from carboxylic is alkanoate. See the example here. This part after oxygen is coming from alcohol. So this is methyl, and there are two carbons, ethanoate. In this one, see after oxygen, this part is ethyl, and there are 1, 2, 3 carbons, propanoic acid. From propanoic acid, propanoate. This is how you write the name. I have taken only 2-3 examples here, and there are many examples that you can do. In class 11th NCERT for ethers, esters, there are not many examples, so I am restricting it here to 2-3 examples only. But in class 12th, you will be coming across these compounds somewhere in different organic chemistry chapters, ethers specifically. So you need to know how to write the name so that in 12th it helps you. Ethers. Ethers have the general formula ROR dash. R and R dash may be same like here. They may be different like here. So they are called alkoxyalkanes. Alkoxyalkanes. And the rule is very simple. Alkoxy is the substituent, which is the smaller R group if R groups are different. And alkane is the bigger one. So here I have both methyl, methyl. So it is methoxy, methane. In the next, you have ethyl group, 2 carbons, and you have methyl group. So this is smaller, alkoxy, and this is alkane. So it becomes methoxyethane. Here you have ethyl here and ethyl here. So take any one, ethoxyethane. If you take any other example like CH3O, CH, CH3, CH3. One R group has 1 carbon and this has 3 carbons. So obviously this is alkane and this is alkoxy part. So methoxy, but where is methoxy? Methoxy is on the first, second, third, second carbon of the main chain. So it becomes 2 methoxy propane. And then the amines, IUPAC name of amines. They are also not in anywhere in the organic chemistry of class 11th. Only 1 or 2 examples are mentioned where you have this table which I had shown in the beginning of this presentation. So amines have RNH2 general formula. If you replace one more hydrogen by R group, R2NH, one more R2N. So this is called primary amine. All these are amines. Primary, if there is these are the derivatives of ammonia. If you replace one hydrogen by R group, it becomes primary. If you replace 2 hydrogens by same or different R groups, it becomes secondary. And if you replace all the hydrogens by R group, it becomes tertiary. So how do we write the names? Let us take them up one by one. For primary amine, then you can see the table. For primary amine, simple alkane amine. So this is having 1 carbon. I will call it methane. E will be dropped and amine word will come here. For CH3, CH, NH2, CH3. 1, 2, 3. On the second carbon you have this. So I will be writing propane. Amine, propane amine. If you have secondary amines, suppose you have CH3, NHCH3. Both the R groups are same. Take anyone as the main compound, ethanamine, and the other as the substituent. But where is the substituent? The substituent is on nitrogen. It is not on the carbon chain. So you write N-methyl. Where is the methyl? On nitrogen. N-methyl. Single word will follow now. Methane amine. If you have C2H5, I'll write it again. If you have C2H5 NHCH3, I was saying C2H5 NHCH3. Now the bigger R group is the main compound, that is ethanamine, and on nitrogen you have methyl, so it becomes N-methyl ethane amine. For tertiary, if you have all the attachments same, take anyone as the main amine, that is methanamine, and there are two substituents. So I will write here N dimethyl, because on nitrogen you have two methyls as substituents. So I am writing N dimethyl and then methane amine. If I have all three attachments different, let us take an example. The biggest R group is propane. So I will take propane 1-amine as the parent compound, and we can see methyl and ethyl, two substituents are there. So you write the substituents alphabetically. I will write N-ethyl, E comes first, N-methyl, and then propane 1-amine. Quite long name but easy. And then you can see the table. It will appear easy now. Here you have two methyls on the nitrogen, secondary, N-methyl methanamine. This is N-methyl ethanamine. This is N-ethyl butane 1-amine. I suggest here write 1-amine because there are different possibilities. And here you have this nitrogen attached to ethyl and then this group. So you write it in the expanded form and you will see that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there is a methyl. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. There is a methyl, and here you have nitrogen and ethyl on it. So it becomes N-ethyl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pentane 2-amine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is pentane. On the second carbon you have this nitrogen and C2H5 attached. So it becomes pentane 2-amine. This is clearly a tertiary amine, all ethyl groups. So N and diethyl ethanamine. And likewise you can try the other examples. So this is how we write the names for these compounds. Now something very interesting. If you have a polyfunctional compound, poly means many functional groups, maybe more than one. That starts with the category of polyfunctional. Then only one functional group can be the principal functional group. How do we decide which is the main functional group, which is the principal functional group? There is order of preference for that. And that you have to remember this order. This is in the decreasing order of priority like this. Carboxylic, then sulfonic, then you have esteric group, COCl group, you have aldehyde here, and ketone has lesser preference than aldehyde. Then you have alcohol, amine, like that. And alkyl group, phenyl, C6H5 group, halogens, nitro, alkoxy, they are always used as prefixes. Remember these things and it is very easy to write their IUPAC names also. See this example. You can see carboxylic and ketonic. There are two functional groups. According to the priority series, I can see that if carboxylic and ketonic is there, carboxylic has more preference, ketonic is coming here. So the main compound is carboxylic acid. It has 6 carbons. So the carboxylic acid having 6 carbons is called hexanoic acid. And the fifth carbon is now this ketone. Now here you need the first slide. Here you need this. See, if I have ketone with carboxylic, I will be using a prefix for ketone. And the prefix for ketone is oxo or keto, as visible here. Oxo, or you can make use of keto also. So let's go back to the slide now and see. I will call it 5 oxo or keto. 6 carbons are there. Hexanoic acid. This is where the prefixes are to be used. Here you see there are unsaturations, a double bond here and a triple bond here. So here double has more priority than the triple bond. Okay, this is showing the bonds. This is not the greater than or less than sign. Don't get confused. So double bond has more priority. So if I have to write the name here, it will be, and you have one more double bond. So it is a diene and ine. You will start numbering from that side from where the double bond is coming closer. That is how we give it priority. So it is hexa. See, A is not dropped because diene is coming. Hexadiene. And then fifth carbon and sixth carbon are involved in a triple bond. So 5-ine. You start the number from where the double and triple bonds are starting. So it becomes hexa, 1,3-diene and 5-ine. Let's try these examples quickly. This one, the first one, carbon, 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 because we know the bond line structure. How are they made? Every turn and extremes, the where the bond is ending, they have carbon. So here you already have this OH here. So this is clearly a carboxylic group. And you have alcoholic group. If you see the priority series, carboxylic has more priority. So how do we write the name here? It will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Butanoic acid. On the second carbon, you have OH. So prefix I have to use for this. So I will call it 2-hydroxy. You see the table, prefix is hydroxy for OH. Butanoic acid. Okay. Next example. Very interesting one. You have carbon, carbon, carbon. How many carbons in the main chain? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is a substituent, Br is a substituent, and there is a double bond. So I have identified the longest carbon chain is this. It is involving a double bond also. So this is butene clearly. If it is confusing you, what you have to do, you simply have to write it 1, 2, 3 and then 4. Write it like this. 1, this first, this is CH3. Then you have the second, this is CH. Then you have a double bond, this C, and this C is having CH3 on it. This one, and then you have next CH2 and then you have Br. Okay, now the rule says the priority series says that halogens have lesser priority than the double bond. You must have noticed that this is coming in the main priority series, but this is coming along with the nitro and alkyl group, phenyl group. So they are always as substituents. They have lesser priority than any other functional group, the halogens I am talking about. So you start numbering from that side from where the double bond is coming closer and the other substituent is coming closer. But in this case, if I number 1, 2, 3, 4, I am getting the double bond between 2 and 3, and this side also I am getting it between 2 and 3. So definitely I'll come from this side. That way this carbon having Br will get a lesser number, methyl will get a lesser number. So I will not come from the other side, I'll come from this side. And now it is easy to name it. You write alphabetically. There are two substituents. One is methyl and other is bromo. So B comes first. I'll write 4-bromo. Not 4, sorry. We'll start numbering from this side. So Let's quickly write it again. Yeah, I'll number here only 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it becomes 1 bromo, 2 methyl, but 2 ene. 1 bromo, 2 methyl, but 2 ene. So I have explained everything here, that where is bromo, where is methyl, and it's butene, and where is the double bond between second and third. Another example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons, and there are two functional groups, Cl and OH. Definitely OH has more priority, so I'll start numbering keeping in mind the OH from where it is coming closer, and if that is bringing Cl also with the lower number, the carbon having Cl, that is good. So I will write the name now. It will be chloro on the first carbon, 1 chloro, and this is methyl, 4 methyl, pentane 2 all, 1 chloro, 4 methyl, pentane. There are 5 carbons. On the second carbon you have alcohol, so pentanol, pentane 2 all. So I have covered many examples here. Let us quickly do this question from NCERT. Derive the structure. Very interesting. If you know the IUPAC nomenclature, it's very easy to draw their structures. 2-chlorohexane. So clearly the compound, the parent compound is hexane. 6 carbons. 6 carbons. On the second from any side put chloro. And then complete the 4 bonds of each carbon by putting hydrogens. So this is the structure for the first one. This is done. Second, pent 4 ene 2 all. Pent means 5 carbons. From any side you start numbering because we are making the compound right now. And then 4 ene, that means between 4 and 5 there is a double bond. And on the second there is all means OH. So I'll complete the 4 bonds of each carbon. This is the structure. I'll be taking up 3-nitrocyclohexene now, third part. 3-nitrocyclohexene. This is cyclohexane, 6 carbons, all single bonds. Put double bond anywhere, it becomes cyclohexene. And double bond has more priority than the nitro group according to priority series. So put nitro here. It's done. 3-nitrocyclohexene. See the fourth part. Cyclohex 2 ene 1 all. Cyclohex 2 ene. 2 ene means between second and third carbon from any side you write, you have the double bond. So on the first carbon all means OH. Fifth part. 6-hydroxyheptanol. Heptane is 7 carbons. On the sixth carbon from any side, you have to put OH. And I need to number it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have put OH here. Sorry. Yeah. So if OH is here, sixth carbon, and it is heptanol, means aldehyde. That means this is C double bond OH. This one. Double bond OH. Heptanol is this. On the sixth carbon you have OH, so it is hydroxy. And you complete the bonds by putting hydrogens. CH2, 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 CH2. That's it. So you have seen that IUPAC is not tough. And you don't have to mug up the rules. Just do a lot of practice. Remember the rules. Apply them. That is the best way to remember them. I hope this presentation helps you. The next presentation will be for isomerism and different displacement effects in the last presentation. So 2 more presentations are coming up to complete the chapter. Thank you.